Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of the interview series, the Al-Wilayah interview series, like a little collab from Union Islanders and Stanmore Jafferys. And to be honest, I want to, I'm a little nervous today because of the guest that I have on. But before we get to him, I want to thank everyone, obviously, for the support on the first interview. Everyone was so great. A lot of feedback, which was well appreciated, much appreciated. And we are going to take all that feedback and roll it on to the next one. I know the first one was a little long, but that's what we want to do here, right? We want to tell stories, right? We want to talk. We want to actually have a conversation. And I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy all the videos, all the podcasts, all the interviews through and through. But before I introduce my guest for today, I do have some announcements on behalf of Stanmore Jafferys. The website for Al-Wilayah is now ready and live, and you'll be able to see the URL here on the screen. All the information pertaining to the tournament, everything related to the tournament at all will now be available on this website. Player registration links will also be available once your team received their official participation confirmation. So obviously you all know the 31st of March is the deadline to confirm your team. After that, you should get an official participation confirmation, and then your registration links will be on the website for your team. It's ready, it's live. Please do check it out. And now we will move on to my guest for this evening, the illustrious Mehboob GG Merali. Thank you so much, Mehboob Uncle, for being here today.
No, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to talk about Al-Wilayah and other events that are going to happen.
For sure. First, I want to say salam alaikum. On my last interview, I didn't say salam to the guest, and everyone got on me about it. So first thing is salam alaikum, Mehboob Uncle.
Wa alaikum salam.
I know that we have interviewed Hasnain GG, we've interviewed Munna GG, we've interviewed Kizzer. We have yet to interview Mehboob GG because we like to save the best for last, and we're here today with the best, and we've saved him for last. Before we begin, Mehboob Uncle, obviously you know the passing of Fazal has taken a toll on not only Stanmore Jafferys, but the community, the entire volleyball community, the entire Khoja community. He was such a big personality in both the community and volleyball. What are your memories of Fazal Virani? And I know that he was a big part of your past tournament in Dubai. What can you tell me about him and your memories of him?
Alhamdulillah, Fazal was a very active member of the community. As everybody knows, the Zara Foundation and volleyball, and his MC is famous for that.
Yeah.
And a person with a very humble personality.
Yeah.
He was basically, when he was in the tournament, you would see people would be surrounding him. They would like to speak to him.
Yeah.
And so everybody, there's nothing I can say that will help with the grief, but he's always to be remembered.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're 100% right. Like I said in my past interview, I think watching him in Dubai this past time and seeing how good of an MC he was, that I truly missed that. His commentary on some of the videos of the volleyball games, I missed that so much. And we're definitely going to miss him. And I'm so glad that this tournament is in his honor and in his name.
What I can say to ease the grief is that we are here for a short time frame. Yeah. And we shall unite.
That is what we hope.
There is a volleyball court there or not, I don't know.
That's a different story.
But inshallah, we will.
That's a different story. I couldn't have said it any better. Thank you so much, Mehboob Uncle. Now we'll get into the good stuff in terms of your life, your career in this game that you have built, this legacy that you have built. Tell me about how you started in the game of volleyball. Obviously, we all know your father, Marhum GG Merali, was a big inspiration to a lot of people. But not only all of us, but you three brothers in particular How did you start in the game of volleyball, and what was the real beginning of Mehboob GG?
From the time of childbirth.
Exactly. It's in your blood.
You see, my father had a team in Dar es Salaam, which was called Evening Star.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And basically, Evening Star is not a new team that people are saying it is.
Right.
Okay. It was a team of my father.
Okay.
And the way it was portrayed that when Evening Star was formed in Canada, it was a sister team of Jafferys.
Okay.
Jafferys had a lot of star players at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. And we couldn't, like, a lot of us, well, everyone can't play in.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why Evening Star was formed.
Okay.
Whenever it was like people were tired. 10 years or something, 8-10 years. Finals, Jeffrey's series, Jeffrey's,
again.
you know, so it was like a long time for period for people, but it was the two best teams.
Yeah.
And that's how it evolved, basically, Evening Stars.
When you were growing up in the time of Evening Stars, in the time of Jafferys, who was your role model? Who would you look up to and be like, you know what? I'm going to be like that guy.
Oh, my goodness.
There are probably so many, right?
Yeah, they were excellent players back then. Excellent players. You're looking at Joe, okay, of Allentown Challengers.
Allentown Challengers, yeah.
He will be the short guy in the center and two tall guys in front of him.
Yeah.
Back then we had the VHS.
Yes.
Okay, and I would put those tape in, and literally I would see Joe hit in slow motion version.
No way.
So I would slow down the pace of it.
Yeah.
And I would see how is he hitting the ball, how is he digging, what is he doing. So Joe is one of them. Then a unique hitter, a very unique hitter, Hasnali.
Kosar?
He's in Brampton right now.
Oh, Brampton.
And he has a very unique style of hitting.
Okay.
Very unique.
Okay.
I wish we had some sort of videos to show.
I know, yeah. I wish I could see them.
Or maybe if we find one, then we'll put it in my brother's link.
Yeah.
Channel.
Yeah.
But it is one of the most, he is one of the most, I would say, a unique hitter of the ball.
Right.
And then we have Mehboob GG.
Well, that I know.
Another unique hitter of the ball.
Very unique, yes.
I don't think anybody has.
100%. I grew up watching him as well. Yeah, I remember.
Right. So then you have so many. You have Kausar from Allentown. You have Kade.
Yes.
You have so many. Marhum
Moheji, yeah.
Okay.
Who out of all those was the one guy who you would look forward to going up against? If he was across, you would be like, today I have to bring my A game.
You put me on the spot here right now.
There has to be one that got you going, you know, or maybe at that time it was your brother, it was Munna uncle. Like, I don't know, because you guys faced each other so many times.
You know, we faced each other so many times. But in Munna's team, I would really like to hit the ball to Asghar.
Yeah.
Returns were so sweet.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you would always be, it was hard taking points from him.
Yeah.
A great player.
Yeah.
But the game you will be controlling.
Yes, that's 100% true.
So most of the time he digs the ball.
That is so true. You're so right. When you are going through this Evening Stars, Jafferys, back and forth, we could say this is in the 90s, right? I was born in the 90s. I was born in 91. But I remember 97 like it was yesterday, because that is the last time New York Union had won a trophy. if I remember the 90s correctly, it was you and Jafferys back and forth year after year after year after year. What made you join back with Jafferys and create one team with your brothers? And also, did you get tired of winning at some point?
Well, you win at the point and, you say, okay, you mature more.
Yeah.
And then God knows who to give what. So, if Jafferys has Evening Stars, Jafferys, whatever, has won so many tournaments, we put in the effort, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's the best.
Yeah.
So, joining back Jafferys is not as I said, it's been portrayed that way.
But it was never the case.
Jaffery and Evening Stars was sister team.
They were never separate.
They were never, even when you see our games when we played each other, okay, there was no fighting.
Right.
Or, like back and forth and stuff like that. Okay, there was always a respect.
Yeah.
And Munna being my elder brother, I had to be very careful.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then Hasnan being my younger brother, I had to be more careful.
Super careful, yeah. Yeah.
So I was the one in the middle.
Yeah.
And, it was a beautiful time, basically.
I think what people, you're right. I think people think that, look, the middle child is always the one that's a little, rebellious. Yeah. So people thought that Mehboob had created Evening Stars to go up against his brother. But that's not the case. You guys were always united. It was just a matter of being sister teams. Evening Stars was a very unique team in the sense that you were younger, I think, in a sense, you played a different style almost. And they had you. And a lot of people tell me this today. And I watched you when I was young. But again, that was a long time ago. People tell me that the way we see Khizr today and how unique Khizr is and how athletically gifted and how different he is, that's how you were in the 90s. That's how Mehboob GG was. He was different. He was unique. He was above everyone else in the sense of athleticism and his ability. Do you feel that Khizr's career has almost mirrored your career back in the 90s?
Tell you the thing that Khizr is Khizr. Yes, athletic-wise, you can say. Determination, you can say. But when it comes to similarity in games, there's a huge difference.
Really? Okay.
I would say Khizr is 100 times better than me.
Like any father would say, yeah.
Well, you can say that, but the thing is, it's reality.
Yeah, true.
The way he hits the ball, the way he, his game is different. He would jump, okay? He knows how to hit the ball down. He knows this. The game is totally different.
Of course.
And yes, if you're talking about athletic-wise and stuff, yes, he's a mirror. But when it comes to the game, he's Ba.
I think what they were trying to say is that in the 90s, nobody, and even the 2000s, nobody was doing what you were doing. And I think that's the same way Khizr is today. Nobody does what Khizr does, right? He's unique in that sense. People felt the same way about you. You would hit harder than everyone else. You would, again, that athleticism, you would showcase it. I think that's what people were trying to get at. I think obviously the game has changed, but you were one of the reasons the game changed early in the 1990s and 2000s. You were different. And I think that's what people are trying to get at. I know of stories, obviously coming from New York, watching you guys come to tournament year after year. I think New York, where a lot of people had started playing volleyball, in my opinion, is the Mecca of volleyball, right? I have heard so many stories about you versus Najaf Uncle. So many stories. I mean, there are stories about you guys talking in the cafeteria and Francie Lou, Francis Lewis. You guys are telling each other, we're going to beat you in Lovely, and then you get on the court and beat each other in Lovely. What was that time like? against Najaf Uncle. And what do you remember those days like it was yesterday?
Najaf. My role model.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he is basically, I look, to him.
Mm-hmm.
The way he used to hit the ball, the way he used to place the ball.
Yeah.
I remember I was only about 10 years when Najaf came to US.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the final was, at that time, Allentown channelers were, hot.
Right, right.
So I remember basically Najaf in the finals with Allentown. Now, Kausar had a very unique game. He would be very often.
Right.
And Najaf being a smart player, I still remember that one placing he did to Kausar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there is no way he even got to it.
Right.
And Kausar himself, the way he hits the ball, he has found a lot of balls to Najaf. And there are times he has won, there are times Najaf has won. So, those are people that, you won't get to see
ever again. Yeah. Yeah. We had heard so many stories about you and Najaf Uncle going back and forth. And Najaf Uncle, someone I look up to as well, a role model in my game, has always been there for me. But I know he always told me that you and him had a very good relationship when it came to volleyball.
Oh, yes. Right. Because you see, the thing is that I looked up to him.
Right.
So that respect was always there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get in the ground, yes, they call it masti tofan, this. If this is not there, then there's no fun in the game.
Yeah, that's what we used to hear. We used to hear you guys used to go to talk to each other and tell each other, we're going to beat you and all that. And that was the best, I think the best time of volleyball, right? It was the most fun time.
It was the fun time. Now moving, let me take you back to Evening Stars. Basically.
Okay.
My father's team.
Okay.
Almost every finals they were in there. Evening Star was the first team that introduced playing volleyball at night with floodlights.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the list of Evening Star used to be Mustafa MRM, aka Chewy.
Okay. I like this. I like this history.
That was the front left.
Okay.
In the middle was Baptist.
Okay.
On the right front was my marhum father, GG Merali. The back left was Star. In the middle was Shabir Bora.
Okay.
And on the right was Muhammad Katemba. Service was Khatri. My father and him used to switch.
Okay. Okay.
On the serve. So when Khatri would go at the front, my father would come at the back to serve it. And when the tournaments were going on, Ramzan tournaments were the best.
Yeah. And
I remember Evening Stars had a very shiny banner. Mm-hmm. At that, and favorite team to win and all, and they lost that Ramzan tournament.
No way.
That banner was burnt on the ground.
Oh, man.
Crazy
times, right? Crazy times.
Really good time.
When you were in the Evening Stars and you were starting your team, what was your core team? Who was around you?
There was Tanvir Kara on the left.
Okay, TK.
Azad Somji in net.
Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
Azad Somji, one of the best.
Best netties, yeah.
Yeah. He would set you up like, I don't think there was any other netty like him at that time.
Right.
And then you look at Mohammad Makoti on the right.
Right, of course.
And then at the back, you would see Nizar Tar Mohammad at the left.
Oh.
Okay. And then I would be in the center. And on the right will be Mehboob GG.
Oh, so Mehboob GG ended up joining Evening Stars.
And then we also had Shams Qasim at the time, Zulfikar Qasim.
Okay.
And
I believe
Ansar Bhai Qasim, he was there.
Was Irish on Evening Stars?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Arish was in Evening Star. When Mehboob wasn't there, Arish was there, and then
Okay.
there when Mehboob was there, and back and forth. So it was a basically a very good team.
When you were done dominating and you joined Jafferys, what year was that you joined back with? You guys went back together and played under one team.
I wasn't done dominating.
Dominating as Evening Stars. Sorry.
Well, you see, because then like the players started, dispersing Jafferys, that, and then we ended up joining together.
Okay, and do you remember what year that was?
It was a very long time.
Was it the early 2000s or was it late 90s?
I think it was the early 2000s, yeah.
When you guys combined, that's when volleyball almost started to take a turn, right? Because people like Sammy were getting up there, right? You had Arif, Nazar Ali. You had the young guys like Nadeem and Turab. You had all these guys coming up early 2000s. What was that time like, winning under one banner of Jafferys against all these amazing players in the early 2000s and going up against Sammy? What was that like? Because a lot of people remember that tournament with you guys in Orlando and, going back and forth. What was that time like, going up against Sammy and Arif and all these guys?
Sammy, very unique player. I really miss him.
Yeah.
It's been, let me put it this way, it's been a gap in volleyball without Sam.
I agree.
And when he was there, he was like really enthusiastic.
Yeah.
He was ready to pound the ball. He was ready to play the game.
Yeah.
He was ready to boost the team.
Yeah.
And after, I guess, his lack of interest in volleyball and stuff, it just fell apart. But players like that are really missed.
I do miss Sammy as well. I looked up to Sammy a lot, and he was one of my role models. I truly do miss him too. And I love seeing you guys go back and forth.
Of course, Arif Nazrali, a unique player, lefty.
Yeah, lefty.
Unique player, no doubt. One of the best players I have played with. Until today, if I have the opportunity, I would really like to play.
Yeah, I agree. One of the most unique lefty players, back centers of our time, for sure. But yeah, seeing you guys go up against Sammy, I thought that Sammy was the most dominating hitter at that time because he had that aura about him. He had almost that physique, tall and long hair and, that challenger green. But every time he would match up against Jafferys, it was like Jafferys knew how to hold him down, right? Jafferys knew how to tame him almost. Those matchups were great. And what was it like going back and playing with your brothers and winning and dominating the 2000s? What was that like, playing with Munna and Husni and all these guys together now?
It was a different feeling. It was like about time we start getting somebody else in finals.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Yeah, fair enough. When you were winning in the 2000s, it seemed like things were pretty easy for the most part. And then the decade turns into 2010, and now volleyball starts to see this person, this superstar in Fazal Banji, right? And Fazal becomes almost this personality that changes the entire game. Everyone now, including myself, including Kizzer, we all want to start jumping, right? We all want to use our athleticism. And when you went up against Fazal, this is before, I want to say, teams like Orlando and Stanmore and New York and Stars, where you were going up against Fazal first and Reblo and all these guys. What was that like, playing Fazal for the first time?
Well, Fazal, hands down. You will never find a player like him And one of the, like not one, I should say the best player in volleyball. The power, the, you know, the stamina.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I thought he was on things.
Yeah, yeah. That was the only thing that would make sense, right?
Yeah. He had this determination. When he got on the court, it was just like he wanted to finish it off.
Yeah.
One of the best players I've ever played against.
When he was playing you guys in the 2010s, was it hard? Obviously, we all know that he had beaten you guys more times than not. Was it tough eventually? Did it get frustrating? Like, why can't we beat him?
Actually, it was never frustrating.
Okay.
Never frustrating. The thing is that after we lose with Faisal, we go win a cup.
It's true.
so
Move on.
There's more determination.
Move on. Yeah.
Than frustration.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember a time where, mind you, when we're growing up, we see Jafferys as the greatest team ever. And then nobody could beat them, right? Like nobody could beat you guys. And for us, it was almost frustrating. Like, oh my God, why isn't there one team that could beat these guys? And then Fazal comes up and Fazal shows that they can be beaten. And not everyone wants to become Fazal, but not everyone is Fazal, right? But slowly, teams start coming up. And one of those teams being Orlando. In 2012, there was a final in Orlando. And Orlando was a young team, you know, not much. You know, they were coming off, they were a new team. They were hungry. And now people were, again, they were using the athleticism. They were playing a different style of volleyball. Orlando played a different style. They played a V style. And they played you guys in the finals. That final, people thought after that Jafferys were done. They were like, you know what? New kids on the block. Jafferys are done. What's going to happen now with Jafferys? Tell me, what was that 2012 Orlando final like? Was it almost eye-opening?
Was it a final or a semi-final?
It was a semi-final. I apologize. It was a semi-final. I apologize. The final was against Stars.
Right.
Yeah. That semi-final. What was it like?
Basically, well, let me put it this way. At that day, the best team won.
Fair enough. Yeah.
They won the first game. The second game, we came back hard.
Yes. Yes.
The third game, they won. I wouldn't put excuses in this.
Sure.
Because the best team did win.
Yeah.
They were more consistent.
Yeah.
We faced a little bit of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
The ground was not right.
Okay.
You would see a big glass door on the other side of the court. Huge glass.
Yes, there was. Yeah.
And I think we lost the serve. Mm-hmm. I mean, we lost the toss.
Okay.
So they got the ground.
We
got the serve.
And then,
so the third game, we returned back to that ground.
And there was
these are all excuses. Being an experienced player and all that, we should have finished it off. But it's good because there is things that you might not get in life that are good. Yeah. That loss was very good for us. Mm-hmm. We ended up, look what happened after.
Right. And that's what I'm getting at.
So there are things in life that you might not like, but it's good for you.
Yeah.
And Jaffery needs that. Yeah. They need that wake-up call once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
A knock on that door.
Yeah.
You know what? Wake up. Yeah. Like if you see the Stanmore game on 2018 in the final.
Yes.
We lost that game in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that was a knock on the door.
Yeah.
So look what happened in 2018 final. The response came from us in 2019.
Yes, exactly.
In Minnesota.
Yep.
So, and with Stanmore, if you go look at our tapes of 2018, the amount of points, whatever points we got in the first game,
Yeah.
We always like playing that particular wing. Go look at in the Minnesota. We always like playing that wing. Now, I'm not going to say which. You can see the ground, you can see the video, you can see the whole team shift towards one side.
Yeah.
And there's a big gap on one side.
Yeah, yeah.
So that you can tell if you're playing in front, that confidence of the team in front of you, what is it going against, right?
Yeah.
So how is their confidence? How is what? How is not? So Stanmore, we like playing against. They're pretty steady.
Yeah.
They're consistent. But at the end of the day, we know what to do.
Those wake-up calls like you talk about, I think every winning team goes through that, right? Like if you look at Stars and them building a dynasty, if you look at Orlando and them building a dynasty, RKs, they all, after winning a couple, they get that one knock on their head, right? Like, hey, listen, there are teams out here who can beat you any given day. That's the beautiful thing about volleyball. After you guys lost in that semifinal in 2012, you quickly went to play in Mammoth. And Mammoth, I spoke about this in my last interview with Kumail. That Mammoth, you guys had played Haidery in the final. And it was Bilal, who plays with you guys now, right? His brother, and all those guys. And I talked about one particular play. I don't know if you've seen it, I'm sure you have, where there's a bunch of commotion happening in this play. Mind you, all these Stanmore people, London people are chanting against you guys. And there's all this commotion, and the front left, I believe, goes down for a ball. The front center goes to cover the front, the front right goes down for the ball. Front center goes to cover the front right. The front left comes to play in the front center. This is all happening in one play. You get the ball and you place. Exactly. Tell me about that play, because to me, the greatest placing I've ever seen on video.
Wow.
What happened in your mind? What were you thinking? And did you see all that happening in like slow motion?
Well, the thing is that you see this is what it is. When you're playing volleyball, you have to see what is going on in the other side of the court. You can't just wait for a third ball and hit the third ball. That's you're supposed to do it. Right. But you have to see too the placement of the players on the other side. Right. Now, if you see a gap and you don't take advantage of it, then there's a lack of experience with it.
Yeah.
And that's what exactly happened.
When you did that and almost silenced the crowd, you guys go ahead and win that Mammoth final. And that was almost like a stepping stone to the 2013 New York, where New York for you guys is home. You guys have dominated New York for however many long.
I think it's 19 years, isn't it?
19 years until we took you guys down in the semis last time, right? But 19 years, you guys dominated New York. 2013, you play us in the finals. And it was easy work, right? You guys win 2 straight. We're a young team. You guys deserved it. And that almost catapulted you to now, everyone knew, okay, Jafferys are back. Remember you said that wake-up call, right? Jafferys are back. You then go to 2014 and play Orlando in a final in Allentown, which comes down to the last point of game 3.
Yes.
Did that final hurt? Or did you think, like you said, another wake-up call, we'll get them next time?
Yes, actually, we have won so many that losing one here and there is part of it. It doesn't disturb us. Actually, I would love to see people pound us.
Yeah.
Okay. Bring it on, come. Okay. Take the cup.
Yeah.
But by us just reaching the semis, the final, it's an accomplishment.
Yeah, agreed.
And then you know what? God knows who to give what.
Did you not feel hurt, or did you not feel like, oh man, we can't beat these Orlando kids? Did you ever feel that way?
No, not at all. Because the thing is that I kind of saw Orlando's moving forward. I see. Maybe it's my opinion. I might be wrong or whatever. But that sense of playing together is not there.
Okay.
I was pretty sure. I don't know how long they're gonna go for, or how long it's gonna last.
Right, right.
And when I saw that, I said, "There is something there."
Right. We'll get. Yeah, we'll get.
Something will happen.
Yeah.
And some people lost interest in playing.
Yeah.
Some people, okay, wanna play volleyball.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that determination in them to carry it on for a long time.
When you played them in New York finally in 2015 in that final, and you guys won, was there like a sense of relief almost that, okay, they took us, we took them, we're back on top?
See, the thing is that, as I said, in between, we would win tournament. So it wasn't in like memory or something like that.
It wasn't in the back of your head.
It's there. You lost. Move forward. Wake up, man, and move forward. Like, you know what? Grow up.
Fair
That's
enough.
about it. But
Fair.
And then you go win a tournament, and you say, "Huh, it was only a loss." So just move forward. That's about it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Anything in life.
Yeah, that's true.
Fall, you stumble, get up and move forward, man. There's no need to sit there and cry.
Yeah. I have your stats here. After your 2012 loss to Orlando, you go and win MAMT 2012, you win New York 2013, you win New York 2015, you win Al-Wahda 2015, you win Dubai 2015, you win RK 2016, Al-Wilayah 2017, TVC 2018, Minnesota 2019, Al-Wahda 2019, and then Dubai 2019. Obviously, so many trophies here. Which one is your favorite of all time?
I would say winning an international tournament is the favorite.
Okay.
Because it's all over, teams from all over the world. Mm-hmm. Like the people who would think that us brothers are semi-retired, they're in dream. This way. Because the thing is that as long as, alhamdulillah, we have good health,
alhamdulillah, inshallah,
we can play, we're going to be in that court.
Yeah.
So we might be very annoying, but you know what? We are there.
Yeah.
So, as they say, hate is the sign of love.
That's true.
We are here to be loved.
So would you say, which of the international tournaments was your favorite? Which win was your favorite?
I would say the Dubai.
2019?
2015?
Yeah, 2015. Yeah.
The first one.
The first one, yeah.
That was, it was really good to win that tournament. There was all these famous teams that have gathered from Africa, from whatever. And you know what? It was a tournament to win.
You obviously have been playing with your son for quite a while now. You've been lucky enough. A lot of people don't get a chance to play with their son. You both have been playing at a high level together. What has that whole journey been like, seeing Khizr from young to what he is today, accomplished, a superstar? And how has that been? And how do you treat him like your son on the court, or do you treat him like a regular player?
I treat him, well, the thing is that I treat him like a regular player on the court. You will see the video. He'll go on it, and if he screws up and this and that, I would be behind his back.
Right.
I would tell him what's the truth.
Yeah.
And it is important for a father to lay out the facts on the child. It makes him stronger.
Yeah.
The strength, the mind. You have to, a father has to be there for the child.
Yeah.
And he has to basically encourage and push him. So I've been there all that time. I'm lucky, alhamdulillah, to be able to play with my son.
Yes.
And for a very long time.
Yeah.
When the time comes, I, pass away, these are memories for him and I.
Yeah.
And those memories will never go away.
Yeah, true.
So the moments are the biggest thing that you can ever have.
And that's what you try to capture, right? Like you try to capture those moments with Khizr. You guys have been lucky enough to win tournaments. You guys have been lucky enough to, like I said, to play amongst each other at a high level. I'm sure that's what everyone wishes for. So all the best, obviously, to you and Khizr, and staying healthy and staying on the court, inshallah. And we love to see that father-son combo, because you don't see that much in the game. You don't see that much in the game. There is a lot of stories when we grew up that we heard about Mehboob GG. It was like almost like they would my the people we grew up with, Najaf Uncle and my dad and all the volleyball players, right? They would tell us these myths, these legends, these like folklores, these bedtime stories about Mehboob GG and what Mehboob GG was and what he did. And a lot of us would be like, wow, that's Mehboob GG, right? Every time we go on the court and be like, oh my God, that's Mehboob GG, Which of these myths, I guess you can say, we're going to be a little bit of a Mythbuster here. Which of these myths I want to hear from your mouth now. Are these stories true or are these stories false? And we'll start with number one. Number one, someone once told me that you wear one shirt, the same shirt since the 1990s, under your jersey. Is that true?
100% true.
Really?
Yes.
What is the story behind this shirt?
I was very comfortable with it.
Okay.
It gave me kind of a comfort when I play, and I just liked it. It was an American flag shirt.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Stars.
Okay.
And
okay.
Kind of made me feel good.
Do you still wear that till today?
I don't even know what the shirt is now. I wish I could have passed it on to my son.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea. Legend number two is that your favorite meal before a volleyball tournament is fish and chocolate. Is that true?
Chocolate, yes. Fish, I don't think so.
Okay, well, that's what we heard growing up. And the last thing, you do this. Explain this to me, because a lot of people have started to do this. I have done this once, channeling my inner Mehboob GG. What is this?
You know when a tornado hits?
Yeah, yeah.
The rest is all story.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
The legacy of Mehboob GG. What is the legacy that Mehboob GG wants to leave behind? What does he want to be considered as? How does he want people to talk about him?
There was a time Jibreel was asked, if you are a human, what would you do? He says, out. And that's what I want to do.
Fair enough. The current state of Jafferys, obviously, we all know it's been some time. Since the last indoor tournament, we had a pandemic, and we're all kind of practicing through that. And there were a lot of, shutdowns and government shutdowns. And I know you guys are just getting back to practice and stuff like that. What is the current state of Jafferys? Obviously, everyone is 2 years, 3 years older, almost. And what can we expect from Jafferys after a 2-year break?
Jafferys was never in a 2-year break.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a kind of a myth or whatever. Jafferys was never in a 2-year break. Yes, we were in a 6 months, 8-month break.
Okay.
But we used to go to private courts to hire and You would see the videos on the YouTube channel and stuff like that.
Okay.
We would always play. We would always play. Whether, you know, three-a-side, whether whatever, but we would always play. We would never have that. We never, like, we didn't stop for that long. That's number one. Number two is it's in our blood. Even if we stop for 2 years, you hit two balls and your hands are set.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is beside the point.
That's
But the thing is that we always played. We always played. We always had fun, and that's the key.
How many years now have you been playing volleyball?
Oh my goodness.
Can you tell me the amount of years?
35, 40.
Wow. I've been playing for 15 years and I feel like that's a lot. So I can only imagine what you feel like. That is almost double the amount of time I've been playing.
No, but there's one player that I really admire.
Mm-hmm.
Really. The unique style of hitting as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's none other than Salman himself.
Thank you. I appreciate the good words, the encouraging words. I take that. That means the most to me. The honor of having someone like yourself say that about me. There's nothing better. At least if I haven't won, I've made a good impression, right?
Yes, that's true. That is 100% true. And I always tell the young people who start to play or are playing, it's not how hard you hit.
Yeah.
It's where you hit.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the kids growing up always tell me, you know, you're one of the hardest hitters, you know, but you haven't been able to win. And I said, you know, I realize how, as I've grown older, it's now how hard you hit. It's how smart you hit, right? It's hitting the ball in the right spot. It doesn't matter how fast it is, as long as it's in the right spot. Tell me about Jafferys in London. Will Jafferys be champions once again?
When we enter a tournament, winning and losing is part of it. Okay. We basically enter a tournament to support the community, to meet our fellow brother. Now that is the key that should be in one's mind. The rest, winning, losing, you know, everybody tries, and you know, God knows best who to give what. If it's, you know, there for Jafferys to pick it up, we'll pick it up. But this time we have some nice surprises.
That's what I'm about to get at next. And I'm glad you took me into that. We've been hearing rumors. Everyone knows that Jafferys are full of surprises every time. Here's the podcast. I want the announcement to be here. I want everyone to know it's coming here. I want it to be the biggest news. Who is Jafferys bringing? Anybody new that we should be expecting?
Well, the thing is that with Jafferys, it's always unpredictable.
Right.
Okay. There hasn't been time that, you know what, let me put it this way. Playing in Jafferys is not a right, it's a privilege.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you see, we intend to give chances to a lot of people.
And who's the chance given to now?
Well, the thing is that time will tell.
Oh, come on, everyone.
Time will tell, because
no. You got to give me something.
Nothing is confirmed, so time will tell. That's
okay.
all. That's all what I can put in.
Okay, but we should expect the unexpected.
You should expect the expected. Going back to the losing stuff and all that, there's a famous poet that has said, "Agar sab kuch mil jayega zindagi mein, to tamanna kiski karoge?"
Yeah. Wow.
Kuch adhuri ख्वाहिशें की जीने की मजा दे.
Yeah. 100%.
Right.
Everyone who doesn't understand that will have subtitles for you. You talked about, we play this game for the brotherhood, for the community.
Yes.
We get the chance to see each other. I'll be honest, maybe I probably wouldn't have known you if it wasn't for this beautiful game that we play. And I have the privilege of talking to you today, and you knowing who I am and I knowing who you are. You've always been good to me. Do you feel that sometimes we lose sight of that this game is for us to be together and unite, and sometimes the game gets the best of us?
Yes, basically, what this volleyball or sports festivals have done is unite the Shia community, the international community. You go to any other community, you ask them, do you know somebody in London? Unless if they're their relatives, they'll know that.
That's so true.
But this community, the size of the community and the amount of work that has been put in by community members and volunteers, it's a hat off to this community. One of the best community I've seen, the amount of work that is being done for the size of the community.
Agreed. I thank you for that. I will go into rapid fire. Now, I told you rapid fire is quick. I'm going to give you something and you tell me the first thought that enters your mind. And we'll be easy. We'll go easy. It's not going to be difficult. The best netty ever in the history of volleyball.
There's a couple there.
Okay.
There's a couple there. As you see that, you know what, I've been following India for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Been posting it on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
As you know, this game generated from India.
Yes.
Okay, our forefathers, after the split of India and Pakistan, some came to Africa, some went somewhere else. So our forefather brought this game to Africa.
Yeah.
And from there, it was still played on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was following this team for a while.
Right.
And the thing that I see them hit the ball and this and that, I was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? We need to bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Dubai Open. Whoever missed Dubai Open, they missed a chance of a life, basically.
Right, right.
It was one of the best tournaments that was held. And part of it was because of India.
Right.
The net they brought, we used that net. You can ask any netties that played there. One of the best nets is manufactured in India.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the nets that we use. Their game, the way they play, excellent. There's no doubt about it. And that's why they won the Dubai Open.
Right. The best netty in the game today.
I would say India.
The best netty.
Team India.
They have the best netty.
They have the best netty. Team India, hands down.
Really?
Now there are others, as I said.
Okay.
I would say the one that just joined Young Muslims. Jafferys is his name, I think. I just played a tournament for Indar. I was there.
Uh-huh.
I played for VM Shala. This netty left VM Shala and joined Young Muslim.
Wow.
And the worst of the worst net I've played in my life was this one. And the way he was taking out the ball,
you were still able to lift.
Oh my goodness. And the third one I would say is Adi.
Fair enough. Yep, I was expecting that. Which back center today is the best in the game?
Wow. There's so many. There is, wow. There is, upcoming, I can tell you, but if you ask me about back centers currently, they are all basically almost the same level. Mm-hmm. But if you tell me about upcoming centers, mm-hmm. I would tell you that Alu's child.
Yes, I agree. Aliaskar Alu of Orlando Union, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is somebody to look forward to.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. What is the best game you've ever played in your life? One game, best game ever.
Jafferys Evening Stars.
Really?
Allentown tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Lasted 4 hours.
Oh my God. That's funny.
And then I at the end of the last point, that was, we lost that game.
Yeah.
And you would see Marhum Zamin running up to me and telling me, just that game finished right away. He just crossed the net and came up to me, held me, and said, Mehboob, I want the shirt of yours.
Yeah.
And that was the Stars shirt that I had.
Okay. So now we know where it is. What what is the best tournament? What is your favorite tournament to go to? If you had to pick one tournament, what is your most favorite tournament you look forward to all the time?
At this moment, right now, we love international. Okay, because we meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
Times have changed. If you would have asked me before, I would have told you New York.
Yeah, thanks.
That's my prime.
Yeah.
But, now, since we have matured that much and stuff, and at that time there wasn't this outside tournaments.
Yeah.
Except for the first one that was done in London, where United Stars was there.
Yes.
That came and they won that tournament.
Yeah.
In 1994.
Yeah.
That was so basically this international tournament where you meet all your brothers.
Yeah.
Those are the best tournaments.
Those are the best times. Yeah, no doubt. Which GG brother is the best? Once and for all, let's settle the debate. Is it Hasnain? Is it Mehboob? Is it Munna? Who's the best of the three?
Hasnain has his own unique game. Okay. When it comes to the center, it's me and Munna. Right? But Hasnain has his own unique game. He's a defense.
Yeah.
So I can't compare him.
Okay.
But if you ask me between me and Munna,
yeah,
hands down Munna.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I thought you'd say. That's what I thought you'd say. GOAT. Who is the GOAT? Who is the greatest of all time? Is it Fazal?
Yes. No doubt.
Hands down.
Fazal Banji. Definitely Fazal. Fazal Banji is the best of the players that ever existed.
Agreed. Yeah. Last question, and we'll end the interview. If you had a choice, Evening Stars or Toronto Jafferys?
You're asking me to choose between brother and sister?
Yeah.
Not possible.
Which, in your mind, was the greatest time of your life playing volleyball? Evening Stars or Toronto Jafferys?
Both had his great times. I swear. There wasn't a single time that I could say that, there was any because it was there from before. It was one from before. So, both had its own fun.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like it. Upcoming tournament, yes, the Stanmore one, and then after that, India.
Oh.
End of December.
Okay.
India in Pune.
Okay, I'm excited.
India has 80 teams.
Yeah.
But they're going to play their tournament, and they're going to select 5 of the best that come in the rank.
Okay.
So India is definitely, that's a tournament to look forward.
Yeah, definitely.
They've already basically paid their fees for the stadium to the government. It's going to be in the stadium, which seats 20,000 people.
Wow.
This game is very big in India.
Wow.
20 teams. So what do you expect?
Exactly.
So it's going to be huge. Watch out for India Open 2022.
Inshallah. I am excited to see you in action in Stanmore. I'm excited to see Jafferys in action in Stanmore. It's been a long time. Huge fan of yours, Mehboob Uncle. I appreciate this time. It was an honor. It was a privilege. Anything you want to say? Any parting words before we leave this interview today? Anything you want to say to the fans?
I would encourage the youngsters. We have started pulling a lot of young players who haven't been played before, they're starting to play, encourage your young players.
Yeah.
Encourage a lot of other upcoming players.
Yeah.
And that's how you're gonna make your the game, you know, move forward in in the most basically these new children, youngsters, they are the future of the game. Today we are here. How long we're gonna be playing for?
Yeah,
I think except for us brothers, maybe even with a cane we might stand on the court. So, but these are the kids that do the game. They know, they're young, they're energetic.
Yeah.
Without them, you know, the future is not there. And plus, it's good for the community.
I agree.
It will make them know each other around the world.
Yes, yes, yeah.
You know, our children, grandchildren, knowing these other our community members across the ocean. That is the main thing. That is the main thing. There's a lot of other issues, but you know what? We should leave them aside and encourage our children.
I agree. I thank you again, Mehboob Uncle. It was an honor, a privilege. The one interview I've always wanted to do, and I'm glad I was able to get it done. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you had a good time.
Definitely. One more thing I would like to say, that we should cite one Surah Fatiha.
Yes. Yes.
Fazal and all our
Marhum Fazal Virani, Mehboob GG Merali, and all our marhumi. Yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night. See you guys next week. We're going to have someone else, but this week, Mehboob GG Merali, enjoy it. And I hope you guys have a good time. Thank you, Mehboob Uncle.